It's crazy. As an astrologer, I'm like, this is crazy. We got to talk about this. I won't even go into in depth some of the bigger things that are happening. Hi, if you're just joining, we're talking astro stuff out there, but really in here, Taurus is so much about the physical embodiment and so much about the feminine embodiment. This is why we see the feminine rising in such a large degree at this time, because we are in this clearing, this pathway for the feminine to rise. But that's not without work. That's not without the inner work. That's not without some struggle. It's not without confrontation. I just did a post today. I think it's amazing. Instagram doesn't think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. That's probably why, because it probably is amazing if Instagram's not showing you. So go check it out, about these 6 elements of activating the Shakti, and one of them is confrontation. It's going to require a confrontation. We're going to have to be confronted with these things that we've been avoiding. We're avoiding it. We are constantly trying to just stay in the midway, in the kind of middle road. But ultimately, that's not what's being asked of us. We're being asked to do and be great. So let's talk about, what I'm not going to talk about is these other big things happening, like Mercury is squaring Saturn. Ouch. Mercury is trining Pluto at the same time. So this is big, heavy energy. So if you're feeling like you're kind of breaking through some things, Mercury is just coming out of its retrograde. So because Mercury is freshly out of its retrograde, it is still a time where we're doing a lot of inner process work. We're still digesting a lot of information, a lot of things. This is why Mercury has to do with our digestion. When you look at the nervous system and the digestion, if we are in an agitated state, our digestive system closes down, right? And in order for us to move forward in our life, we have to digest things that have happened, experiences that we've had. And so it's really important for us to understand our own Mercury placement, how we digest, how we integrate, how we make peace with what we've been through, who we are, all the things, right? So that's what we're not going to talk about, even though Mercury is also in Taurus. We're going to talk about this Taurus Stellium, though, that's really, it has to do a little bit with this Mercury retrograde, but in a bigger sense, it's really about where we're being divinely guided to go towards. We're being divinely guided to go towards North Node in Taurus, which is all about all those things: sensual embodiment, divine feminine, integration of the sensory things around us, our sense of smell, our sense of taste, our sense of touch, our sense of hearing, our sense of seeing. It's like all very important at this time. What is right in front of you? What's right in front of you that you haven't had the time or space to actually be with and honor and cherish and be grateful for? So it's very important medicine at this time, the practice of gratitude, the practice of celebrating and being with what's already in your life, what's already right in front of you, and not get stuck in the trap of where we don't have enough or where we're not enough or the not enoughness. And this North Node in Taurus is very much important to really look at that. Not only that, but then Uranus in Taurus. This is a larger 7-year cycle. I made a video in 2018. I had no idea what I was talking about in that video because a lot of times I don't know. I'm just kind of bringing it through. And all of those things, I had no idea what I was talking about. But then in these last couple years, I've really been shown what I was talking about. So it's really important to understand this bigger scope. When there are slower moving planets such as Uranus, Uranus is shaking up. It's like slow but sudden. Slow but sudden, especially in Taurus. And this is about our money, our resources, our relationship to our own divine feminine. It is about food, how we're feeding ourselves, the things that are being, done to our food and all of that. This North Node in Taurus also is about, learning to lean into this divine feminine energy and not push it away. Whereas when we were just in this Gemini Sagittarius cycle that we just got out of, it was very much a masculine cycle. Now we're being kind of forced into our feminine, into the yin. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of people because we've spent a large part of our life avoiding and not wanting to be with this part. So it requires our inner work. It requires our healing. I have a beautiful three-piece suit on my website. It's a free masterclass of healing your divine feminine energies. And it's so powerful when we do this work because it allows us to be who we truly are, who we were told we couldn't be, who we were told we shouldn't be. And it allows us to go in and really make peace with those parts of ourselves so that we can shine in our full capacity at this time, because so many of us carry this divine feminine energy. So many of us carry these elements that are so necessary for the world right now. And for as long as they are not accepted within our consciousness, they're pushed into the shadow. And when they're pushed into the shadow, it's literally allowing our own energy to work against us. It's literally allowing other forces to dictate and have power over us. And when you bring her to the light and when you bring her into the consciousness, all of a sudden so much clicks in such a magical way in your life. So the stellium is really big. It's going to be June 11th is when we have the exact conjunction between Venus and Uranus. But if you're just experiencing some interesting energies today, we're going to have it today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. It's like if you're noticing just some synchronicities, some things clicking in, but also some uncomfortable things happening, being asked to look at things in your life in a different way. This is this energy, and it very much has to do with where you're not honoring and owning your own Empress energy, your own, goddess energy. Everyone has it, whatever your gender is. And if you're not honoring that part of you, things are going to get shaken up in a more uncomfortable way. So the other element here that we have is Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is the wise, strategic planner. How do you plan when something as unplannable as Uranus is making this aspect? Well, we can't know exactly how things are going to unfold or what things are going to look like when they unfold, but we can have a vision for ourselves. We can have a picture, and we can have a vision, and we can really be in the energy of what if? What would that feel like? What would that look like? And that is like the highest aspect of Taurus energy, is being able to smell the smells when you're in that space, being able to feel the feels of like new silk sheets or whatever the thing is. Like, let yourself play and let yourself feel. And when you let yourself play and you let yourself feel, that is the Uranian energy that the universe loves to play with. The story, okay, so I want to go into the Tower card in Tarot. The Tower card in Tarot is Uranian energy. Uranus, right, is represented by the Tower card in Tarot. The story of the Tower card is a tower, very tall tower, that gets struck by lightning and falls over. And then you see the little people like, ah! Okay, well, those people aren't innocent, okay? So I'm going to tell you the story of the Tower. The Tower is this masculine, the lower level masculine of wanting to control, wanting to know, needing to have control, the illusion of control. And so the man builds this tower, this tall tower, in the hopes of being able to listen in to what the gods are doing, saying, being, planning, right? And Uranus energy is the lightning that strikes the tower, that says, you are not meant to know. You are not meant to be in control. You are meant to be open to the mystery that's folding in front of you. And the more that you are open to receiving that mystery, the more that you are open to receiving the magic, the more magic will come to you. And the more that you are trying to control and strangle and hold on tightly, the more you're going to fall, the further you're going to fall, right? So this is this idea of falling from grace. This only happens when we try to control, when we're trying to know everything, and we want to know more before we go and show up in our magic, before we show up as in our business. Like, we want to learn more or know more. This is actually the shadow side of ego, right? Ego is both. Ego is thinking that you know it all, right? But it's also thinking that you don't know enough, so you want to know more before you can be who you are, right? And what we want to be in with the Uranus energy is it is this higher form of communication that is beyond words. And there are certain people in your life that will just appear that have this Uranian energy that they just show up and they change your whole world. They just show up and your world is different. This is the Uranian energy. It is not to be controlled. Just like the feminine, it is not to be controlled. Whenever we try to control it or know, we're literally cutting ourselves off from the magic, okay? This is the same thing with the feminine. So Uranus energy is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury has been retrograde, is now going direct at the end degrees of Taurus. Right there behind it is the North Node, trying to lead us to that magical sensory magic of Taurus. Then right behind that, we have Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena, if you've done my feminine leadership program, going through the archetypes, she is the wise strategy. She is like seeing beyond the bullshit, right? She knows so much. And she can help you to move forward in your life in a way that's going to work for you. In Taurus, she's really about seeing it with your third eye, seeing beyond the illusion, seeing beyond the Maya, seeing the world that we want versus the world we're being dictated is becoming. Okay, this is huge. I don't expect everybody to follow, but that's okay. So when we decide what we want to see here, what we want to feel in our bodies, what we want to experience, we are in the power of creation, and Uranus rewards that energy. Uranus loves that energy. Doesn't mean that things are going to manifest the way that you're seeing them, the way that you're feeling them. It means that you're going to go along on a magical mystery ride that is all about Uranus. So certain people have more of the Uranian energy. They will show up into your life, change things, like magically, like appear. And you'll have certain relationships in your life, if you date long enough, where you have very Uranian connections with people, where you come together and it's like lightning strikes, and then, you know, you're on your way in a different way. It's like these sudden downloads, these sudden ahas. Now, it's not always a connection with another that you're going to have that, but that's just an example. It can also be, you know, you're out in nature and you're receptive to the nature around you. This is very Taurian. And all of a sudden an idea comes in. It's going to make you lots of money, or it's going to set you on the path towards meeting your beloved, or, you know, like these things come through. And if you follow those little intuitions, those little hits, those little downloads, even more unfolds for you, even more opens up for you. So this is this stellium. It's a very powerful stellium. Then we have Venus. Then we have Uranus. So we have Uranus, then Venus. And Venus is all about our desire, what we want, what we're attracting to us, how we're being magnetic in our own realm, in our own field to attract things that we want towards us, and really being aware of our thoughts, beliefs, patterns that are keeping us from believing better, that are keeping us stuck in these limiting places. And so at this time, it's so important to reach higher, reach bigger. And one of the ways that you can do that is by working with me. I have Crown Codes available, which is a self-paced biz alignment course. We are wrapping up our last week in the live course, and now it's available as a playback, and I'm doing a special offer for the rest of the week. So you can reach out to me if you're interested in that. Another way you can tap into this energy is by getting a one-on-one deep dive astrological energetic alignment reading / coaching session with me. And those are also available through the link in my profile. Reach out to me through DM if you have any questions or you're interested in working together. I also have an amazing group business mastermind starting in August. That's going to run from August to December. It's super powerful. Get Shaktified. It's all about stepping into your feminine power in your business, life, love, all the things. So I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Meredith, I love that you love your Uranus placement. It's so important to love our Uranus placement and our Mercury placement because they're both so important. Mercury for digestion, processing, and clarifying, and then Uranus for the big, big energy and how we're making space for that lightning bolt to come through and change us and activate us and evolve us. I love it all. I love you all. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope you take good care of yourself during this very powerful time that we're in now, have been in, are in. It's it's like magic as an astrologer to see these alignments happening. And then we're going to have a very powerful super full moon in Sagittarius, creating a T-square with Neptune, creating all these connections to all these other planetary bodies. I'll be talking about that more, maybe in a live, maybe in a reel. But if you are tuned in, make sure you're following my page if you want to see updates on the astrology and all the things. Okay, love you all. Bye.